Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to virtual shop tour number 7. We are inside the cab of locomotive number 15. It's at the end of the day right now, and the locomotive is resting for tomorrow's runs. And you can see that the steam pressure gauge shows 160 pounds of pressure. Overnight, as the locomotive cools off, we may have about 25, 30, maybe even 40 pounds of pressure. This has been a couple hours since the engine stopped operating, and still lots of power, lots of pressure inside the locomotive. Notice here this main long handle right here. This is the throttle. Throttle comes out of the top of the boiler right there, which releases the steam to make our locomotive move. All of these valves that you see inside the cab, they're either all on or all off most of the time. There's a few valves over here on the side. These are the fireman's controls. This is an oil burning locomotive. So this valve right here is the blower. This induces the draft, allows the fire to come through the tubes and heat up the water. This valve right here is something that you only see on an oil burning locomotive. It's called the atomizer. A little bit of steam is mixed in with the oil for combustion. This brass handle right here is the oil firing valve. It's shut off right now. And the 3 valves right here, you'll see in the doorway, right there up against the wall. Those are the injector valves for putting water in the boiler. And here's our water glass. You can see the water level is just there around the top of the A. So put it to bed with a nice full glass of water on it. This valve right here turns on those appliances I just showed you. There's the main, see the steam comes out of there into that main manifold, and there's a valve on the back side, it's the main fountain valve. That big valve right there turns on the steam for the injector. Little valve right there runs steam for this one right here in front of the bell. That runs steam for the generator up on front. And then you can see this big valve hiding behind the steam gauge. It's shut off right now. That's the main fountain valve. That releases the steam to make everything operate. We shut them off at night. Try to keep as much pressure in the boiler as possible. On the other side, you can see here's a valve here. This is a steam valve. There's another valve on top here. This is the steam for the hydrostatic lubricator. If we look around the front of it, you'll see several little glasses, and they're clear. This is for lubrication for the cylinders and also for the air pump. Over here we have the air pressure gauges, all of them showing no air pressure on the system. And then here is the Mansell lubricator, and it's connected to the very first piston. When it goes up and down, it's actually lubricating all 3 of the cylinders. You can see over here some brass valves. There's 1, there's 2, and there's a 3rd one down below. The engineer has an injector just like the fireman does. This big insulated pipe right there goes over, that's the steam for that injector. In the window, that's the straight air valve. This valve right here is the independent valve, independent brake valve. And this is the automatic brake valve. This little valve right here turns on air so we can have air inside the cab if they need to clean off the area. And there's the oil cans. And this main lever right here, and you can see it's in the middle position. So it's called the Johnson bar. It's Changes which direction the steam goes into the cylinders. If it's in the forward position, it goes forward. Reverse position, it goes reverse. Sitting in neutral right now. If we were to open the throttle, there it is right there. If we were open the throttle, the locomotive wouldn't go anywhere because the Johnson is set in neutral. Cords hanging from the top. This one right here is the fireman's cord. This is for ringing the bell. And then over here on this side, that's the whistle cord. Hope you enjoyed our tour this week, and hopefully to show you some more behind the scenes next week.